Imtiaz Suliman from Vunani Senti Fund Managers joins us now for a full look into the day that was in markets. Imtiaz, thanks so much for your time today. Now, just looking at broader markets action, right? How are you viewing activity at the moment? A bit of a pullback over in the US, but, you know, we are still seeing sentiment still upbeat on the back of hopes of the end of the government shutdown. But those, tech concerns around valuations still at play.
Yeah, I think that's very much the play in terms of the market at the moment. We've had some sort of deal with regards to the US shutdown ending. We will see the vote tomorrow by the Senate. And once that passes, we should see an opening of the US government. I think the market is largely being reliant on company results to gain direction on the US economy, and in particular on the US consumer. A lot of the companies have reported so far for the third quarter, and the vast majority of companies have so far beaten market expectations.
Yeah.
But I think the overarching factor, which you did mention, was valuation concerns. We saw today SoftBank they're selling their stake in Nvidia, and we saw another tech company, CoreWave, come out with a warning that their revenues are going to be lower. So investors are a bit jittery in terms of how much is left into this AI boom that we've seen, and we need to see the profits and growth continue for these lofty multiples to sustain itself.
And just on the back of SoftBank selling its stake in Nvidia, do you think SoftBank is fully valuing its position in Nvidia, or is it just rotating the money here and maybe looking at investing in other AI counters?
Yeah, I think Nvidia is one of the best performing stocks worldwide. So they've done very well out of that stake. At these levels, maybe they felt there's better opportunities. Not to say that Nvidia doesn't have future growth optionality.
Yeah.
They are still growing very strongly. There's a strong pipeline and demand for the AI chips that they do manufacture. So I think, it's an opportunistic move. SoftBank is also a portfolio holding company, and they will shift from time to time in terms of their investment and holdings.
All right, let's shift focus to company news out here at home. Premier out with half-year numbers, really posting strong earnings there, coming in 28% higher, but we are seeing softer revenue. Is that just an impact of what we're seeing when it comes to the soft commodity dynamics?
Yeah, I think if you look at it, our revenue was up 6.4%. We did see some moderation in the likes of the maize and rice prices, which would affect them from a revenue perspective. But it's also quite beneficial to the likes of a Premier in terms of the input costs.
Yeah.
So it would allow them to potentially expand their margins. We've seen Tiger Brands also come out yesterday looking at good double-digit earnings growth. So I think from a food producer perspective, the lower commodity prices are certainly filtering through in terms of expanding their margins. Although, revenue is not shooting the lights out, you've got the cost efficiencies, the logistic efficiencies that are coming through, which allows them to nonetheless expand their margins in a lower revenue environment.
All right, we seem to have run out of time, so I'm going to ask you for your stock pick. Where are you seeing opportunity at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm going with Microsoft. Microsoft is a well-known company listed on the NASDAQ. If you look at their business model, they've got a very strong moat in terms of cloud, enterprise services, as well as AI. They've got a very diversified offering, not reliant on just one product. So I think from an overall product perspective, they've got good growth. A lot of the products like Microsoft Windows are annuity type revenue software that allows them to generate annuity revenue and inflationary increases on the back of that. And those enhancements that they do put through every time again allows them to charge a higher fee for that. So I think if you look at it, they're very well placed, not maybe at the cutting edge of AI, but they do have AI as part of their offering.
Yeah.
And their business model is suited for the world that we are in terms of technology and artificial intelligence.
Let's leave it there. Imtiaz, thanks so much for your time and sharing your insights with us this evening. That was Imtiaz Suliman from Vunani Senti Fund Managers.